At first glance, this may just pass as a typical confusion inside a public service vehicle as captured by an amateur camera, until one takes a closer look. Observe how this man takes advantage of the confusion to, using this black backpack, steal this phone from this unsuspecting passenger. This is what public service vehicle passengers go through on any given day. A typical day inside this Matatu plying the Githurai route, and our hidden camera encounters its first case of what looks like a calculated robbery. A man carrying a black bag sits next to an unsuspecting passenger while his partners sit close by. A short while later, one of them drops a coin and prompts our unsuspecting passenger to help him pick it up. It is here that they first try to rob him. Unfortunately, he retrieves the 5-shilling coin before our man can do anything. They try again, prompting him to more coins they have allegedly been unable to retrieve. This time, our kind-hearted passenger isn't as lucky, as his phone is meticulously removed from his pocket in the process. In yet another incident, the push and shove by passengers to alight provides the ultimate setup for yet another onslaught. A lady trying to move for a passenger is caught up in the confusion, after which she is left phoneless in just a matter of seconds. She raises the alarm, and the passenger next to her even tries to help her, even though, and quite interestingly, he is the one behind the theft. Minutes later, he leaves, leaving behind a distraught passenger. A 38-year-old man has every day for the last 8 years taken the wheel behind one of Nairobi's busy public service vehicles, and with it, a front seat to such everyday happenings. And so when we meet him for a first-hand experience on the level of crime on our roads, his narration sounded like a work of fiction.
Hao watu ni watu wanatembea kwa group kuanzia 5 na kuenda mbele. Na hao watu wanatembea na bag na kuna wenye na bahasha. Kati ya hao group 5 kuna moja hana kitu. Ndio sababu huyo anakuja anasimamisha gari, ndio sasa unajua ni customer. Tambo sasa gari kusimamisha ndio hao wengine wanaingia.
We immediately take on the challenge to identify these gangs and go on a stakeout in some of Nairobi's terminus, and it doesn't take too long before we spot the first group. This here is a group of 5 men. Notice that each of them has either a backpack, a small bag, and an envelope or newspaper. These, their tools of trade. We decide to trail this group and notice a pattern. Only one of them will approach a matatu when it stops. They will proceed to have a look inside. What we are informed is to size up, quote, the clientele. If they don't look like they would guarantee them a, quote, good harvest, they will await the next one. When finally a vehicle with potential approaches, they get in and immediately strategically position themselves. Our hidden camera captures them in action in what we're told is the most common technique, the seatbelt technique.
Unasikia, hey, police mbele, makarao, fungeni mshipi. Sasa ile ukitafuta mshipi, yeye anakutafutia mshipi sasa. Saa hiyo kitu yako inachukuliwa, hawezi koza.
It plays out in the exact same script. See how this man first cleverly checks out the passenger next to him, minutes before the call for seatbelts to be fastened. In the process, notice how the men's hands grope for anything they can find in the confusion. The next technique, creating a jam at drop-off points.
Wewe unashuka sasa unaona kama gari iko na haraka, bado unaharakishwa, ndio hapo ndio anakufuata. Mwingine anatangulia kwa gari kama anashuka, ndio hasa aweke jam.
In the exact replica of the narration, notice how this man uses his brown envelope to steal from this unsuspecting lady as she tries to alight. And by the time she alights, the job is done. The gang alights, satisfied and ready for the next challenge. They get in a number of matatus with us on their trail until finally they grow suspicious of our vehicle, with this man eventually communicating to his accomplices that all was not well. Our second group was not too hard to spot. Their characteristic tools of trade are easy to spot now: capes, backpacks and envelopes. This group similarly analyzed several vehicles before settling on one.
Wanainua mkono kwanza, aulize dereva ni aje tuingie. Sasa wakishaingia ndani, dereva akikubali ama yule ako kwa mlango akikubali, unaona anaachia pesa.
Their tactics similar. Interesting though is this exchange during drop-off. We are told the leader, usually with a backpack, collects the stolen items just in case the thieves are nabbed and quickly alights first. For those who manage to catch them in the act, like our cameraman did, the result usually is not pleasant. What sees many watch helplessly as these gangs make away with their most prized possessions.
Mwingine nimebeba na gari yangu, anaambia abiria huyu, si anaona ameweka simu hapa. Ati mimi nataka kutapika, si ufungue. Sasa ndio katoa akasema acha niende nje. Anafanyia hivi.
Kumbe amepita
na simu.
Some of the most notorious Matatu routes for these gangs include those plying the Githurai and Kahawa West routes, Kenyatta and Langata, with most of those we spoke to off-camera arguing that reporting them has done little to deter them because even the police are in on it. Is that true? Police say no, with the new police spokeslady Gatiria Mboroki faulting the public for underestimating police efforts, especially with police reforms underway.
If there is something like that, you just go and report. Investigations are going to be carried out, and that officer is going to be dealt with according to the law, because he is not above the law. He is the one who should be serving the members of the public.
According to Mboroki, an anti-mugging squad has since been constituted with the mandate of addressing such acts. Kenyans urged to use the police hotlines to report such cases and the gangs involved.
020-355-6771 or 020-2724-154. Those are the lines which you can call at any time.
At the end of the day, though, it starts with the passenger. Remember, a forewarned passenger is a forearmed one. Evelyn Wambui, Citizen TV, Nairobi.